Welcome to The Author Show, where we present new authors and books. From fiction to self-help and everything in between, you'll find it all here. To watch the TV version of our program, visit authorswebtv.com. That's authorswebtv.com. And now, let the show begin.
Hi, this is Linda Thompson, your host for The Author Show. If you were looking for a good fantasy read and the book summary began with "Demons are among us and humanity's hidden guardians are the keepers," wouldn't you want to read that book? That's what I thought when I read about Keeper Chronicles Awakening, a new novel by guest author Katherine Wynter. I have a feeling we're in for an interesting story here, so let's learn more. Katherine, welcome to The Author Show.
Thank you, Linda. I'm glad to be here.
Katherine, please give our listeners a short overview of Keeper Chronicles Awakening.
Keeper Chronicles is the story of a girl named Rebekah who finds herself thrust into this world of demons and having to protect the world from these hidden monsters that we don't know about. And so her father had kept kind of this world secret from her for a while, but when he dies, she then has to find her footing in the world and, figure out her path.
When you were writing your book, did you have a particular type of reader in mind?
I did. I was thinking that I wanted to write a book for women. I wanted to have a strong female protagonist, but I thought women, between the ages of 20 and even up, 50, 60, 70, however old, could relate to.
What gave you the idea for Keeper Chronicles Awakening?
The idea came from a desire to play with kind of the icky monsters of mythology. I know a lot of fantasy authors lately have brought back, vampires and zombies, and those are great. But I thought, well, what about the Cerberus or, the other monsters, the Hydra, from Greek mythology? I thought they deserved a little turn at the spotlight, so I wanted to give them a plausible story and a world in which they could be, real monsters.
From the title, I have a feeling that Awakening is the first of a series. Am I correct?
Yes.
How many do you have planned?
Right now, I have 2 planned, 2 more, so a total of 3, but I have, of course, more ideas going forward from there.
Is there another author you feel may have influenced your writing style?
Oh, yeah. I love to read, so many authors have really influenced my writing style. Jocelyn Drake, I love her urban fantasy. Kim Harrison, I love the Sookie Stackhouse books, and I tried to capture some of the best of what I thought that they did, when I was writing this.
When you set out to write a book in the paranormal, supernatural genre, what kind of research can you do, or do you just rely on your imagination?
Well, I think there's a lot of research to be done. A lot of the good paranormal fantasies rely on different myths and folklore and fairy tales for their inspiration. And so I did a lot of research into those different myths before I picked Greek mythology as my source of where I wanted mine to come from.
Paranormal is slightly different, considerably different from grim fairy tales, which some of us older folks used to read as kids. And I always thought those were just really weird, spooky, and not at all for children. So would you say that Keeper Chronicles Awakening could be read by children?
I would not say it's good for children. There's a little steaminess to it. I would definitely go with a 16 or older audience.
Are your characters purely fictional, or are they based on people you know?
Well, they are mostly fictional, although there is one character who appears in Chapter 1 who's based off of my cousin, Lacey, who's a nurse, and she gets a really big kick out of the fact that she's in a book now.
So, why did you locate your story at a bed and breakfast?
Well, the first real location I wanted was a lighthouse. I wanted the lighthouse for the demons, and I thought, well, I need a good reason for this family to have lived beyond the lighthouse, and to have something for the daughter to do beyond just working at the lighthouse. And so I thought, bed and breakfast have so much opportunity for characters coming in and out, and there's so many different things that can happen at them, and they're just fun. I love bed and breakfast.
If you could compare Awakening with any other book, what would that other book be?
Oh, that's a tough one. I would think that it compares a lot with some of the urban fantasy out there right now. I'm stuck on a book title.
Describe urban fantasy.
Urban fantasy is usually fantasy based in the modern world, now, and it usually has a darker element, mystery, murder, and often includes vampires or werewolves or magic.
Okay, so in that same line, most writers write because they have a message that they want to tell. What would you say your message you want to share in Awakening is?
I would say my message is that women can do anything they want. You know, women are powerful, we're creative, we're intelligent, and I think, you know, women make great protagonists and make great heroines. And I'd really like the women who read this to see themselves as hopefully as strong and beautiful as they are.
Okay, if you were writing an article introducing Awakening, what would the headline be?
The headline would probably be, "Are Demons in Your Backyard?"
I'm surprised at that since you had said something about women. I thought sure you'd come up with a headline about women. So you surprised me on that one. So what can you tell us about Awakening that makes it stand out in a crowd?
For me, what made it stand out when I was writing it is that my monsters are really scary. And while some of the monsters are kind of alien and distant, there is a hydra in there, for example, and there's a harpy. The real scary monsters look like you and me. And I think, you know, a lot of times lately we've had our monsters kind of softened a little bit, and you know, the focus has been on their soft side and, oh, they're really not that bad. You know, they're really one of us. And my monsters are definitely not one of us. And they're definitely out for blood and out to get you. So I like my scary monsters.
So where can we learn more about you, and where can we purchase Keeper Chronicles Awakening?
You can learn more about me on my website, www.katherinewynter.com. And Keeper Chronicles right now is available on Amazon as an ebook and as a print book.
Katherine, in the short minute we have left, please share one thing that would be an incentive for our listeners to read your book.
My main character, Gabe, is very much the male protagonist, the male lead, is very much a modern kind of gamey guy. So if you like your guys wearing superhero comic T-shirts and going about with machetes, you would like this book.
Katherine, I really want to thank you for joining us today and for sharing your Keeper Chronicles Awakening with us. Please consider coming back when you release part 2.
Yes, thank you very much. I will. It's been a pleasure to talk to you.
As Katherine wrote in her submission package, Awakening combines a steamy romance, an idyllic lighthouse B&B, and monsters that bring back the scary. And if you like this kind of book, Awakening is your next good read. This is Linda Thompson, concluding another edition of The Author Show. Please share this interview with your friends and family so that they too may have the opportunity to discover our guest and her work. And why not help spread the word on social media as well? Please join us again next time for another exciting author and another great book on The Author Show.
Thanks for listening to The Author Show. To contact us, call toll-free 1-877-955-8800. That's 877-955-8800. Or visit theauthorshow.com. That's theauthorshow.com. Tune in next time to another great author on The Author Show.